We're preparing talent for roles that don't exist using tools we hadn't imagined to solve problems that we hadn't invented. Because the workforce of tomorrow needs skills we haven't yet made. According to the World Economic Forum, it's been predicted that by 2030, almost 40% of the current skill sets will either get transformed or get outdated, requiring employees to continuously reskill and upskill. Let that sink in. Half of the global workforce will need to adapt to stay right. Let's now welcome our panelists for the day. Before which, I would like to call upon Dr. Vidya to felicitate our panelists. First up, we had Mr. Amit Puri, a proud Arab, a seasoned real estate leader, and a counselor. He is also the Group CEO of Bricks Envoys Development with over 25 years of global experience. Next, we have Ashutosh Sinha, who is the Managing Partner and the CEO of Seintiv Talent Solutions. He is also a seasoned marketing consultant and the human capital strategist over 30 years of experience advising global organizations across the US, India, and the Middle East. Next, we have Ranjit Jose, Global Chief People's Officer at Sobha Realty, bringing sharp strategic acumen and over a decade of transformational HR leadership across markets. And our moderator for today, Sriram Iyer, a fellow actor with over 25 years of experience in HR and technology, featuring economic side, AR device, he also serves as the president of the National HRD Network, the Dubai branch.
So every year my second year admission panel, I ask these students, why do you want to take up HR as a profession? So the first standard response is, I don't like doing sales. And I'm not good at numbers. So sales and finance is ruled out. So human resources are default option. The second standard response I get from students is, I love tracking with people. Said, if you love tracking with people, you should keep any function. Why just HR? But the way HR has evolved today, adoption of technology, data has become very imperative. That's why this is proven to be a thought-provoking HR conclave. The topic that we have is Talent 3.0 bridging skills gap in the modern workforce. And we decided it would be an impromptu panel discussion. No pre-prepared questions, so we're going to put them on the spot, right? Talent 1.0 was only about hiring, not even talent acquisition. It was only about hiring and recruitment. Talent 2.0 was about talent development. Now, Talent 3.0 is a transition that is going to be difficult for most enterprises globally. So if you're talking about hiring future-focused talent, transitioning from jobs to skills, having talent which are adaptive, because officially we are moving away from a T-shaped workforce, which is like being a generalist in multiple areas and specialist in one area. So that's T-shaped. They're now moving to a V-shaped workforce. This means every one of us needs to have multiple deep specializations in adjacent areas, V-shaped. Because even if one area that's impacted, it quickly move to the next area. So Talent 3.0 is all about transitioning from jobs to skills, having future-focused talent, having an adaptive talent. So you're going to be discussing on this topic. So I may say we'll have Amit, Ashutosh, and Ranjit with me. The good thing is the panel is very mixed with two human resource professionals and a business leader. I'm like classically you the business leader. So let's start off with you, Amit, because you bring in the business perspective. There are far too many macroeconomic factors that are happening right now. There are a lot of business trends. Digital transformation is the focus for all companies. How is it impacting the way companies are hiring, attracting, managing talent?
Needs a big question. The model. See, I think the first is how companies are accepting technically. It's important that a market brand like we first know what is the skill set be for the business we are running today. So HR in my company is a very, very important, important department because I think they're the ones who are getting these people on board. And we are very new for PW. You will see us all over the city rotating black and bold. But we are still a very new from just about a year old, and we are building that culture today. So I need the right people, and therefore I have to go to my CHRO to get the right people to hired for who are relevant for current scenario, current era. Which is why we go. Ever since I joined about a year ago, I've hired about 80 people, all in key functions, but all from different nationalities, the world. Because as a real estate developer today, first thing I noticed was that my HR Adobe got Indians and Arabs doing the team, and no disrespect. I think it's all good. They're very smart, delicate people. But I needed a diversity in the team because we're working in Dubai, which means if I have to sell my real estate, luxury real estate to buyers in Russia and Europe, in America, I need people, or China, I need people who can speak those languages. So I think that was the first thing I did, with the CHRO, and it somehow paid off well because we got a good mix. Now we have, 68 different nationalities of people working across in our firm. We have about 303 people overall. So it's going well, but it's just that you got to know, to answer back to your question, you got to know what you really want, and then you got to start from the HR. So the HR is not a cost function at all. HR is what is building this out. Even stronger than sales and finance. That's how I think.
Fantastic. So to cater to a multicultural environment, you need to have diversity of values. That's the key takeaway from what you said. Perfect, Fiona. Ranjit, you're also in the construction real estate sector. So from a human resource perspective, what are the macroeconomic trends that are driving the transformation of the HR function, right? And tell us about, from a HR perspective, what are the key issues that the HR team are facing?
Hi. I think the two things that when it comes from a talent point of view, especially connected to this market, that every organization will face is facing. One is the scarcity of talent, and two is the speed of acquisition, right? So, and when scarcity of talent comes into the picture and you beat the speed of acquisition, you can compromise quality when you're kind of going to speed. So I think the balance to maintain speed and quality is everybody's struggle. That's one. Second, knowing that there is a scarcity in this market, what are organizations doing today to kind of somewhere picture proof, their industry, their businesses that they have. I think that's coming up a big way because, as you know, UAE, GCC, Dubai, more than anything else is transforming itself into becoming almost like the capital of the world. Like he said, there are 68 nationalities working within them. There are close to 78 nationalities working in Sobha. So how you attract this talent with this speed without compromising quality, and that's where your physicalization, AI, and companies who have kind of incorporate this within their processes tend to stand out from the other section of niche. So I think there is a big balance there, and obviously the vision with which your script to preparing your operations.
Fantastic. So balancing speed of acquisition with the quality is critical. In my 27 years of experience, is the first time we are having a labor market paradox, ladies and gentlemen. On one side, we have a lot of talent available. The supply is enormous. But when I talk to the hiring managers and I talk to the CEOs of the CHRO, they say, we are struggling to identify the right skilled talent. So this is a huge labor market paradox. There is a huge skills gap that is existing between the supply and demand. So we have Ashutosh used to be with the before a year as part of the HR function, and now it's Seintiv. So from a services perspective, Ranjit and Amit are more involved in real estate, construction, a lot of blue collar plus white collar, but you be more focused on the services side. So tell me, what are the challenges that the services sector are facing right now from the universal perspective?
It's a great question, Sriram. So, I worked with Lovite Conclave 2 years, so year. Prior to that, we looked at for landmark delivery to we are a retail company here. And across with it is a 30,000 workforce or 70,000 workforce or more that. One challenge I've seen across the sector, which is different from the industry, is peculiarly in young graduates come into a service section consulting jobs. They come thinking with a notion that it's very cool and really, really nice, where you get good cooling, you'll get nice air conditioned place to sit at suits and ties. And it's going to be all that, come together when they get in the job. But I do want to caution that to begin with, first of all, that consulting is or service is not a part of right? Just like in a sector, we got to really get into the brass tacks of it, get to carry the coffee or eat for a partner. And if you get to a place where ultimately you can start understanding the industry, because how can you service that you don't understand the industry? So you got to look to the shoes of your clients to get there. Coming to Sriram's specific question, that with that background, what is the headwind we are facing right now in the service sector is finding great talent. Surprisingly, that is coming up in a big way again in the service sector as well. And why is that? Not because great talent is not available. I think it's more because the expectation mismatch between amazing talent, great brains coming out there, and the expectation of the service sector, which has gone a league ahead in the last 3 years from where it used to be traditionally. So now the expectation is to find this person who is what I call is the Eddie's framework. So who comes to the hat of Eddie's as an E with ethics, with a bit of the ethical governance side, deep a bit of transformation kind of a person who has understanding, loves that, innovative is I. S is someone who has a B, love for sustainability or ESG, social governance, and E is empathy. These 5 factors is what beings about consulting and their ability to interact with a strong client. So that headwind is up against. So you're not looking for specifically people who have only skin A or skin B. And that goes back to your earlier point that it's not the T shape or even the I shape get there more. It's moved to B shape to V shape, which is very different. So someone who has at campus or, and I'm trying to make it slightly probably scenario here, and campus where the experience in the jobs has played to multiple opportunities or projects or skills is much more valuable than that one person who is, now I'm not saying specialists are not important, they have their own place, but from a services standpoint,